Good afternoon.
Welcome. Yes.
Good
Hello.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome all of you in our Zoom meeting. Myself, Piali Chatterjee. Instead of various lifestyle disease, since last 8 months, we are facing lots of problems due to pandemic situation. Now we realize that to fight and to win against Corona, we have to improve our immunity power. We know very well that prevention is better than cure, but maximum people don't know. So today we want to know from a reputed dietitian regarding immunity and prevention. She is MSc Food and Nutrition Gold Medalist. She works with many more hospitals like Fortis Healthcare, Apollo, Delhi, and AIMS Delhi. She did special course in critical care nutrition from IAPEN. So let's welcome dietitian Anuradha Sharma. I mute everybody. Now, Anuradha ji, please start. Unmute yourself and start.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I am sure you are expecting a very good solution for immunity. But अगर हम solutions की बात करें, एक एक saying है जो हम में से काफ़ी लोगों ने सुनी होगी, श्री रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर की है. It is very simple to be happy, but it is very difficult to be simple. एक बुक भी है बीइंग देयर, जिसमें दिखाते हैं कि हमारी जितनी भी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं उनके सॉल्यूशंस बहुत सिंपल होते हैं, बट एक्चुअली हम कॉम्प्लिकेटेड चीज़ों की तरफ भागना शुरू कर देते हैं. किसी डाइटिशियन ने बताया है ऐसे 10 इंग्रेडिएंट्स जिनको खरीदना बहुत मुश्किल है, जिनको पाना बहुत मुश्किल है और खाना तो नामुमकिन है, वो अच्छी डाइटिशियन है. मगर अगर कोई डाइटिशियन ये कह रही है कि सिंपल घर का खाना खाओ, जो लोकली एंड सीजनली अवेलेबल है वो खाओ, वो हमें लगता है कि नहीं, इसको कुछ नहीं आता. So basically what we have to first understand is कि even immunity का जो solution है वो बहुत simple है. हमें ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं करना, हमें कुछ complicated diet नहीं plan करनी है, हमें कुछ complicated ingredients नहीं घर में लेकर आने हैं और कुछ भी complicated चीज़ें नहीं खानी है, हमें simple चीज़ें ही follow करनी है. सबसे पहली बात जो हमें समझ लेनी चाहिए कि ये पैंडेमिक सिचुएशन पहली नहीं है. इससे पहले कई हम लोग देख चुके हैं. हमारे जीवन काल में ही हमने स्वाइन फ्लू देखा, हमने टीबी देखा, हमने इबोला देखा, हमने कई सारे हम पास्ट में SARS देख चुके हैं. जब से मैं बड़ी होते हुए मैंने भी काफ़ी एपिडेमिक्स कह सकते हैं, चलिए हर डिजीज़ तो पैंडेमिक में नहीं चेंज हुई, बट हमने ये सारे देखे. अब ये आखिरी भी नहीं है, ऐसा है तो है नहीं कि इसके बाद कभी और कोई डेंजर हमें दिखाई नहीं देगा. तो सोल्यूशन तो ऑब्वियसली यही है कि हमारी इम्यूनिटी अगर स्ट्रांग रहेगी, हम उस बीमारी से या तो बच सकते हैं या either someone is writing that they want me to present in English. Is everyone else comfortable with English? If not, then just let me know. Okay, I will speak in English. So what I was saying is,
we are comfortable.
Excellent. Okay, no problem. Yeah, so what I was saying is that the solution to the immunity problem is simple, and this is not the first and last time we need good immunity. Now, second thing is what we need to understand, that a child develops immunity in 8 to 10 years. Like, immune system is not developed from day one of a child, right? So they are definitely vulnerable. But even for children, if they follow a few basic things, they will have better immunity as compared to other children. And same goes for elderly people, because as we age, obviously our entire system is starting aging, and it is suffering from loss of various functions, not only immunity but various functions. So definitely, even as we age, we become more vulnerable. But again, if we follow simple things, I have seen 85-year-olds living a very independent life, healthy and hearty and thin. So now coming back to what is exactly what will help us in immunity. Nowadays, whatever posts you see on Instagram, on Facebook, on numerous platforms, you have to take this herb, you have to take that herb. Someone is recommending turmeric, someone is recommending tulsi, someone is recommending long, and other different herbs are being recommended. And of course, these herbs have nutraceutical properties, which means that these herbs have a kind of medicinal effect on our body, which can enhance immunity. That is true, no doubt about that. But talking about diet, what we miss is that we are concentrating ourselves with a lot of herbs and spices, etc. But what we are missing is that there is a normal diet which our body requires. I have had a patient in recent past who started having gastrointestinal problems. Why? Because he was taking too many herbs. He was starting his day with turmeric milk, and then he was doing something with long, then triphala, then something, then something, then something. And at night also before sleeping, he was taking something. And he started having gastrointestinal problems. So one thing we have to understand is that all these herbs are excellent, but there is a minimum amount that is required. We don't need to take them all in one day, and we do not need to take them in a huge quantity. They are required in very minimal quantity in our simple food, and they can give us the benefits. Another important thing is, very much important thing actually, a balanced diet. Protein is the most missing thing in Indian diet. You know, when patients come to us for dialysis, like ideally they are told that they have to take less protein. So when a dietitian is supposed to calculate for him, we actually increase the protein. Do you know the reason why? Because India is a sarcopenic country. That means everybody is ideally taking much less protein than what is ideally required for that person, for normal health being, for normal immunity to function, for normal functions of the body to function. And therefore, when this patient comes whose disease requirement is actually to give less protein, we have to increase because it is lesser than what the person ideally requires, not lesser than what the person is ideally taking. And this statement, which I just told you, that India is a sarcopenic country, is not my statement. It has been stated by a very renowned Padma Shri Dr. Shashank Joshi in his own webinar. So that means we have to actually concentrate on taking the basic macronutrients, the basic ones: protein, carbohydrates, fats. Now, carbohydrates and fats have been declared criminals by the entire society. I don't know for what reason. People have stopped eating carbohydrates. They are avoiding carbohydrates like anything. They have started avoiding rice and chapati, etc., in dinners or skipping breakfast. People are defaming gluten. We should not be eating oats. We should not be eating roti. Gluten is bad for health. I don't understand why. I have done my MSc. I have friends who have done PhD. None of us have come across any research which claims that carbohydrates is bad. The Indian Council of Medical Research, the National Institute of Nutrition, they say that we require at least 60 to 70% of carbohydrates in our diet. We require 20 to 25% of proteins in our diet. And people are not concentrating on that. They are just being blinded by wrong information given by certain advertisements, given by certain, even dietitians. I don't know why, but even dietitians are promoting this. But we have to understand that our body functioning is based on what we eat. And we need to eat our micronutrients. That is fine, but we need to take our macronutrients as well. If we are deficient in proteins, then we are definitely prone to low immunity. Why? Because all the hormones, all the enzymes, even the immunity cells, they all are protein cells. Our bones are made of protein mesh. Our muscles are made of proteins. Our body is made of proteins. How can we even think that we are taking less protein in our diet and we will be having good immunity just by eating herbs? We cannot. Never ever. And carbohydrates, of course, carbohydrate has a very important function of protein sparing. Apart from all the important functions that carbohydrates do, this is another very, very important function which also contributes to immunity. We cannot ignore carbohydrates. And even for fats, how can we ignore fats? Fat, every cell of our body, each and every cell of our body is covered with a protective layer of fat. Fat is not a criminal, it is required by our body. It has functions. There are few things called essential fatty acids, which provide us immunity as well. Vitamin E, D, E, K, A, D, E, K will not be absorbed in our body if we are not taking sufficient fat. We cannot omit fat from our diet. We should not be omitting it. What we should be omitting is the refined fats, the refined carbohydrates, or anything which is refined, because refined means they have been completely devoid of any nutrient value. If we eat anything refined, then it does not have any nutrition value. That is the only thing that we need to avoid. The macronutrients form the basic structure of our diet, and that is what is very, very much required for a good immunity. We have to understand that, because if we don't have a system, then it is not going to work. So if we do not have protein, the immune system will not exist as much as it should, so it is not going to work. If we do not eat carbohydrates, then the immune system, the proteins will not be spared for immune function, and it will not work. And same goes for fats. Now coming to vitamin C and vitamin D and vitamin E and the antioxidants, etc., etc., etc. The science specifically describes them as micronutrients. That means we require them in smaller amounts. Now, people are buying specifically these supplements and these powders which are rich in. They have learned all the terms from the advertisements: vitamin E, DHA, omega 3, everything, and they're buying certain things to get those. What they don't understand is, when a dietitian prepares a diet plan, we only match the macronutrients. The micronutrients are already taken care of, because the foods that provide micronutrients are the same which provide the macronutrients as well. And nature basically knows what we want. They know how to prepare it, and they know how to provide it to us. We just have to take everything in the right content. That is it. If we are taking good amount of protein, if we are taking good amount of carbohydrates, if we are taking good amount of fat, good means the appropriate amount, then even the micronutrients are taken care of. Another very, very important part which we always miss, everybody is missing: food is digested in our body, then it goes into our blood, then it goes to the various organs. So it is not only the food which is going to function. The other functions of our body has to also work to make our process run, to make the immunity work. So basically, eating is not enough. We have to exercise regularly. 50 minutes of exercise, 5 days a week. For a normal person who has absolutely healthy weight, he's healthy and hearty, has to do this much to maintain good health. Now, the maintenance good health includes immunity, right? If we are not doing exercise, our blood circulation is not good enough, and the nutrients will not be provided to each nook and corner of our body. If we are not sleeping well, then a lot of hormonal changes takes place in our body, and again the food that we eat is kind of harmed. It is not kind of properly digested. There are hormones in our body which kind of affect our gastrointestinal system. It kind of affects our digestion, etc., and they are disturbed if we do not sleep well. Nowadays, Netflix zindabad. People are sleeping at 1, 2, 3 p.m. Sorry, a.m. at night, and getting up early because they have to work. So basically, it's like we have disturbed ourselves, falling prey to advertisements, falling prey to false feeling of achievements in our jobs. Of course, everybody is not watching Netflix. Most of the people are working late night also for achieving God knows what, but we have lost health. We have really lost health in this rat race. in this race of knowing everything, in the race of watching every sitcom which is available on Netflix and Amazon Prime, so that we don't look stupid in our peer group. And apart from that, one another basic thing but that we miss is water intake. I am so surprised we live in a country which is tropical, which has tropical climate. It is dry sometimes, it is not dry sometimes, but it is hot always. And we have so much of pollution and we are missing water. If we do not take good amount of water, then again immunity is suppressed because our blood is maximum water, and the function of blood is to take the immune cells from places to places to work in the entire body. If we are not taking enough water, the don't you think the blood is going to have an effect on it? Not directly, obviously the blood is not going to become solid, but then it has to extract the intracellular fluids, as in there are other ways of storing water in our body which is also required for certain functioning. Now that everything is disrupted if we are not, if we are staying dehydrated ourselves. Of course we will not fall unconscious of dehydration if we are taking less water every day, but these things which we are missing are adding to low immunity, right? And coming to the end of it, I mean, this is the last point I really want to discuss. Stress plays a very, very, very important role in our health. Stress causes certain hormones in our body which will hamper our health. No matter what amount of exercises we are doing, no matter what amount of good food we are taking, no matter how much sleep we are taking, rather it is difficult to take good sleep if we are stressed. So it will still have impact. It will still have negative impact. And how to relieve it? I find a very simple solution to it. The other four things which I had just mentioned will help us to release stress also. I'll just give a small example. Suppose if we have a client who has come to us at work and he's very irritating. And if we have fed ourselves well, if we have done our exercises and we are feeling good about ourselves, we are hydrated, we have slept well, probably we will be able to handle that person in a very professional manner. But if we are not fed well, we have not slept well, we are dehydrated, we have not exercised, our muscles are feeling lethargic, the person who is being irritating on us, we will also happen to shout back at that same person. So basically, if we follow the other four things, we will be able to handle stress in a lot better way as compared to a person who is not following these four things. Apart from that, what I would say is that I'm not a psychologist. Obviously, stress is different for everybody. If you require help, we should definitely meet a psychologist or a psychiatrist. But we should definitely try to get rid of it in any way we can. Whether we do yoga, whether we do meditation, whether we do dance, whether we walk in gardens, whether we talk to old friends, we watch anything, anything that pleases you, any music, anything. But we should definitely get rid of it. Or take help. Take help from family, take help from near and dear ones, take help from doctors, take help from psychologists, but do take help. Now, these are five basic things: balanced diet, regular exercise, water intake, good sleep, and staying away from stress. This is what is going to help us in staying immune. Anything missing, any of these five missing, will be like a cycle with single tire which cannot be ridden. And it is not true for only immune system. It is true for every organ system of our body. Everything gets hampered. Now it depends from person to person which system is going to get hampered more or less. But trust me, even the limbs and eyes and hair and everything does get hampered if any of these five are missing from our life. Thank you so much. Off to